Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to Aatmeeya Samvada, another episode of Aatmeeya Samvada. Today with us we have Chithra, who is the Executive Vice President and South Head at Kotak Mutual Fund. Ma'am, it's a pleasure and an
Same.
honor to have you, especially on this day when we are opening this new office. You have come all the way from Bangalore. It really, really means a lot. Thank you for your support and thank you for coming.
Pleasure is always ours.
So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about your journey. You were saying you have had a 23-year journey in field of finance. Can you please tell us how you got started, what made you come into the field, and how your journey has been up until now?
So back in the days, I think, I'm talking about the 2000 era. Most people, at least women, when they get into career mode, it's always by fluke or by chance they get into a certain industry because you don't plan,
Yeah.
right? I sometimes envy the kind of opportunities that, the youngsters have these days. But back in those days, of course, the options were very, very limited. So it was by chance that I got into in the industry of finance.
Okay.
So I was in the banking sector for about, the longest time, for about, 10 plus years that I was in the banking sector. So that is where I learned, investments, different forms of investments. It could be an FD, it could be an RD, mutual funds, insurance, PF, EPF, and all of those things. You learn from scratch. And that's been the journey. And of course, the last 10 years has been in the mutual fund industry.
Okay.
More specific towards one category, which is a mutual fund.
Yeah.
So in the bank, you tend to get talk to investors about 14, 15 different investment options.
Yeah.
Which is not the case. I mean, now today I'm more focused, and I exactly know what the audience is and who we are talking to and what kind of investments and things like that.
Yeah, wonderful. So, what made that shift possible for you from banking to mutual funds? How did that happen?
So personally, I mean, there's only that much you could do in the banking industry.
Okay.
And very limited options for women.
Yeah.
After a point in time, you do get stagnated and you start wondering, is this what you want to do? And fortunately, at that point in time, my organization had an opportunity, in the mutual fund space.
Okay.
Since I was already doing, it was an extension that I was already doing in the banking sector. So that's how I took this, the jump into the industry.
Okay.
And I must say, I mean, I've never regretted. I'm thoroughly enjoying what I'm doing at this point in time.
Wonderful. So, what about working in the mutual fund industry gives you joy? Like, what makes you happy? How, like, what is your day-to-day activities? What are some things that you cherish about it? What are some challenges? Can you share a little bit about that?
These are all ups and downs, that you go through. There are a lot of people that we meet, in this segment.
Yeah.
When I'm saying a lot of people, there are a lot of distributors, be it the banking sector, be it the national distributor, or the MFD, fraternity. We meet a lot of investors as well. So each one's needs are different.
Yeah.
Their priorities are different. The
Yeah.
way they look at investments are different.
Yeah.
So, for us to go and, to have a conversation, start a conversation with them and to talk on markets and to talk about, where we can position a certain fund is very interesting, I must say, because we tend to meet different, variety of people, all races and all kinds of people.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. Conversations are very interesting.
Okay.
So you get to take home a lot of interesting conversations back home, and you wonder for yourself personally as well.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So one thing that as I was talking to you earlier as well, that we
Yeah.
wanted to discuss in particular is especially in the finance field, we see quite a bit of gender disparity in terms of the number of people, number of women in the workforce, be it mutual fund distributors or be it people in the AMCs. Of course, I'm sure you have faced challenges being a woman in the industry. Now, if you're open to sharing some of these, that's great. If you don't want, that's also fine. But what would your thoughts be for somebody who is starting out, somebody who is looking to become, let's say, a mutual fund distributor, a woman who is trying to become a mutual fund distributor, or someone who wants to enter the finance field? what are some of your thoughts or some of your pep talk to them? And more importantly, why do you, I mean, of course it's a very obvious thing that there should be more women, but what is it that is what within the system is not allowing that for that to happen? Do you have any thoughts on that?
So your question itself had a lot of answers. This is a gender biased industry.
Okay.
I'm sure many people will not be very happy about listening to this.
Yeah.
But it is very difficult for women, to sustain a very longer, period of career in this industry. I mean, even otherwise also, even when it comes to investment, women tend to underestimate themselves. Right? Most often that, we go to women to even encourage them to even start opening an account in their own name.
Yeah.
Most often they think, oh, I have a husband who will take care.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother will take care. Oh, my father will take care. But why should anybody take care?
Yeah.
If you are independent, if you are working for yourself,
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you understand that you must have at least an account in your name.
Yeah.
Now, that is a baby step.
Yeah.
So once you have an account, then you could start looking at various options.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as a recurring deposit or as simple as an SIP.
Yeah.
Right? You don't need to invest lakhs, in your name.
Yeah.
Start with thousands. Start with hundreds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the small beginning that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And that itself, women don't tend to even look at it. Right? So it's a long way ahead. I mean, we've not even scratched the surface. We've not even put that baby step ahead.
Yeah.
Even today, when we do a lot of talks at the corporate level, a lot of times when the bankers go and then when they want to open the salary account, most often they say, oh, my husband has an account in XYZ bank. Can I be a joint account holder? Can that be also an account that can be considered?
Yeah.
And that's such a wrong way to look at it. I'm not saying that's not an option.
Yeah.
I'm saying if your husband or a brother can have an account, why not you?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it gives a sense of security when you have something in your name. Now that's the beginning that I'm saying. Right?
Yeah.
And then most often, when we do investments, it's only the man of the house who does the investment.
Yeah.
Primarily.
Yeah.
Right? And even I think at that level, he often thinks that, oh, I can just put my wife as a nominee, and that ends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That does not end there.
Yeah.
You should involve them in your discussion.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah.
You should involve them at every stage of investment.
Yeah.
So most often men don't realize, they think they're forever.
Yeah.
Nobody is forever, right?
Yeah.
So there is a point in time and there is a unfortunate event that happens. And at that point, the woman is so clueless as to what kind of investment that the husband has made.
Yeah.
And or in terms of the portfolio allocation, women is so lost at that phase.
Yeah.
Because you've never involved her in the conversation. You've never involved her to tell her, see, this is the kind of investments that we're doing.
Yeah.
So that I think is very, very important.
Yeah.
So I think even as an advisor, when you review a portfolio, it's always important that you involve the women in the conversation. At least for her to know, to understand, or even to know what investments are happening.
Yeah.
So then the resistance does not happen.
Yeah.
So most times what happens when the man goes back, when he go back, and discuss a certain investment option with the wife, because she does not understand, there is a resistance.
Yeah.
She says, why do you want to invest? Is there a need to invest? Why don't you put that in an FD? Because she doesn't understand, right?
Yeah.
The importance of it, or the the advantages of a certain investment. She doesn't understand. So there's always a resistance, saying that why would you want to do that?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Women often underestimate themselves. They manage the household so beautifully.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are so good at multitasking.
Yeah. Although that's finance, right?
Absolutely.
Managing household is finance.
Yeah, it is finance, and it starts at home.
Yeah.
Right? They just don't understand that. That's what I'm saying. They underestimate themselves so much.
Yeah.
The man just gives, he thinks he's a provider. So he gives an X amount to the woman and says that you run the house.
Yeah.
And the woman so beautifully runs the house.
Yeah.
She doesn't even realize that, she's doing it so efficiently.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's important that you involve the women at every level of conversation, discussion, and slowly and steadily explain to her as to why the investments are important. I'm sure she'll understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over a period of time, they will understand.
Absolutely.
And they'll be brilliant.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, they will be brilliant. I mean, they're so good at saving. Why will they not be good at investment?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's something that most people forget.
Absolutely. You know, in our team, we do have a couple of people who are, mutual fund distributors, who are even like in a place like Shimoga, they have been able to kind of set up their own practice along with, working with Aatmeeya. What would be some of your, tips or just like a pep talk to people who are young, women who are young, who are starting out, who would want to pursue this? What would you say to them?
I think it's not going to be easy.
Okay.
It never will be easy.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a woman, it never is going to be easy. I don't know how many people are going to like what I'm saying or dislike what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's a fact.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You are going to face more challenges probably than the men.
Is it that like men don't take women advisors more seriously, or what is the challenge? Like what are some challenges that they
See,
might?
maybe initially when she goes across and meets somebody, you might think that, oh, I don't know how much he knows.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, unless you are confident and you are, you put your thought forward, nobody's going to listen to you. So you have to create your own audience around. I mean, you have to put that foot forward, to come across confident. I mean, till such time, nobody's going to take it seriously at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And there is also this huge workforce, right? Like women are, a major part of general, like, as we are evolving as a country, more and more women are entering the workforce. And for them, how important do you think it is for them to start investing? And this, I mean, irrespective of what the husband or the father is investing, how important do you think it is for them to start investing in their own names and have a steady base for themselves?
It is as important as the man investing in his own name. It's as important as that, right? Like I said, you could start with 500, you could start with 1,000 rupees, you could start with any amount.
Yeah.
But it's very important that you start small and then you start growing with it.
Yeah.
The power of compounding is, is amazing.
Yeah.
That you don't realize. I mean, you just invest about 1,000 rupees every month. At the end of few years, you won't know the compounding effect of that money that you're investing.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize. I mean, a lunch at a decent restaurant could be about 2,500 rupees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe in a week you go, about twice in a week you go. Generally you go and you probably have lunch, dinner, or if you are in a social gathering, it's even more. You could probably forego one of those lunches and probably do an investment. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So it's extremely important that you start early. You start investing in your name and you see the power of compounding for yourself.
Yeah.
It is a security for yourself that you're creating.
Yeah, that's great. In that sense, what do you feel in your personal life? What has investments made possible for you? Like, is there something that you were able to say, okay, this happened because I started investing?
So a lot of things, I mean, not that I started investing right soon after I started to work.
Okay.
Because I was as naive as anybody else.
Okay.
It's a learning that one goes through.
Yeah.
I mean, slowly and steadily, as you start having those exposures is when you start realizing that, you need to start investing. So I've started small. I've started small in SIPs. I've started small in probably a, recurring deposit. But SIP has given, by fold, the moment I see that compounding effect, that's when I want to increase that by a little more and then a little more and then a little more. Today, I mean, you look at, I'm really confident when I look at my portfolio. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you need to have, that for some contingency. You just need to have it for yourself.
Yeah.
That can be a contingency fund for yourself few years down the line.
Yeah.
You plan your vacation maybe with those investments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have those sense of pride saying that, yes, this is the money that I invested and with this I'm doing a vacation. With this I've probably given a gift to my parents. With this I've given this to my child, my husband, whoever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a sense of achievement that you get.
Yeah.
Could be small. I mean, you need not put a large value to it. It could be a small amount, but it's still a sense of pride that you have for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you so much.
Finally, we will last question in terms of, you have had a relationship with Mr. Nagendra, Aatmeeya. Thank you so much for coming.
Like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
And I've known your father for a few years now. And it's always a pleasure to meet him. I mean, he's so warm and, friendly. I can't even tell you at this age. He would travel to Bangalore to meet us at one point. Yeah. And today, he's grown strength by strength. And today people come all the way to meet him.
Yeah.
That's the game changer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's always a pleasure to meet your father and spend, quality time with him to talk about markets, to talk about, anything under the sun. I could just talk to him anything under the sun.
Yeah.
And that's the bond that we have. And I'm sure and hoping that it will only get stronger and better with years.
Yes. Thank you so much. Any last wish for Aatmeeya, this new firm that he has put up?
I would always wish, a lot of success, and I would want to see this, AUM double. And why double? I mean, why put a number to it? I always want it to grow, and it's a pride for us. I mean, it's like growing together.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So it's very close to our heart as well.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
It was a pleasure speaking with you.
No, it was lovely giving this opportunity to speak on women finance.
Yeah.
And I think it's the need of the hour.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you so much. Lovely having this conversation.
Thank you.